Okay, welcome back. I figured I'd do a part two to why America gets a D minus at this point in time. Um, so, a couple topics I was jotting down, thinking about. American patriotism is very low at this time. Um, I think we've all experienced this. There's a lot of people that just say, America sucks. And America is a capitalistic country. F America. I could burn the flag sort of mentality. America's not a free place. And I hear those valid points. But compared to a lot of places in the rest of the world, America is the land of the free, is a land of opportunity. And whether people like to admit it or not, we do have ample amounts of freedoms here that just don't exist in other countries. In Afghanistan, the way women are treated there, in some of these eastern countries, it's not the same. We have a lot more power here in America, a lot more that we take for granted and don't even realize. So that is a truth. Um, People don't have the same American patriotic spirit as when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s. I remember proud to be an American, and people like Hulk Hogan, and there was just a big push for America in general, and lots of songs about America. Bruce Springsteen and John Mellencamp, and Hogan came out to "I Am a Real American," and Rocky IV, he's got on the American shorts, and on the cover it's a Russian glove and an American glove. They pound, and it was just different. And I still love America. This is where I grew up. This is where I'm gonna stay. It's a great country. No doubt you have to work your butt off in this country to get somewhere, but go America. Another interesting find was Wikipedia is now owned by Hillary Clinton, the Democrat who ran for president. This is a huge conflict of interest, as she has the final say on people's profiles, and propaganda can be spread, and one way lies can be pushed. If someone is on the wrong side of her, she can make that Wikipedia page for that person something to be frowned upon. Let's just say that. Who knows what could be put in there? I know one thing, that Charlie Kirk's Wikipedia page has some lies in there and some things that are not true. And now there's a debacle of who owns what and how it should be treated and who the editor is. And there's a whole process of editing this and who's allowed to edit it and if it's right or it's wrong, and it's a lot of legal mess. So our country is being taken over with a huge conflict of interest, and that's not good for us. But this root beer is good for us. Let's talk about deep fakes. I'm sure you've all seen it by now. And it's AI created, AI generated deep fakes. This is obviously super dangerous, because if a high profile politician, say, has a video out and they're spewing something that's not true, or if we witness an attack or hearsay evidence that something has taken place, and AI is becoming so well put together that we don't know the difference now, and just a year ago I could tell, and now I cannot tell. It's pretty stark reminder that we are living in an age where the possibility of seeing something is believing something, and we all need to be aware of this, and hopefully we can all seek through it. If something does seem out of place, maybe we'll pick it up, and we'll all be able to understand that this can't be true, and we'll figure out the reason why. Or there can be conflicting evidence to suggest why said accident, said thing is not true. So, yeah, that's just one more crazy problem that could wreak mayhem, and it's a struggle to take the mainstream media seriously anymore. I believe after COVID, we all have a lack of trust in the mainstream media and in the government entirely. Something that did take place is a killing of a woman named Irina Zarutska, and she was only 23 years old. She was murdered by a man named DeCarlos Brown Jr. on a light rail, which is an absolute tragedy, and it breaks my heart, and it's terrible because, only 23 years old, that's not much life to be lived, and she had her whole future ahead of her, and she escaped war from where she was, and there was a Russian invasion, so she was in America trying to make her life, and here let her guard down and was brutally murdered by that man with a blade, a pocket knife, and he slit her throat. And the interesting thing about it is the people around her, they did nothing about it. And this is real scary road we're going down, folks, because people aren't conversating. Strangers aren't talking to each other. Most people don't talk to their neighbors. And if we're not conversating with each other, if the average person is not talking to the other average person, and strangers aren't at least recognizing each other as some sort of acquaintance and looking out for each other in some capacity. I'm not saying it's owed to us, but what I'm saying is if we see wrong go down, somebody should jump in. She was on that bus and nobody flinched. Nobody made a move. DeCarlos was arrested. Quickly after that, closed circuit cameras caught what had happened. But this is terrifying, man. We need to be talking to each other, and to let atrocities go on like that. Being silent is a killer, and if we're silent about this, that's a very dark path we're heading towards. And it really concerns me because this could have totally been prevented. He had a prior arrest record of 14 times. Now let that sink in. 14 prior convictions, and he was out. He was out, and he did a horrendous crime. Some of these crimes that he was arrested for was more aggravated violence and attempted murder and robberies. And you're just like, what the hell? How could this be? Why is he on the streets at all? 14 times. It's due to the policies of our recent local state just being soft on crime kind of policies, which is just ridiculous. And this has to be addressed. Is there other people amongst us that are not even Americans walking around and committing crimes that we don't know about. That's a huge possibility. And how many times have they been arrested? And shouldn't we lock up the bad guys? And after 14 times, if I messed up 14 times, I would say, okay, you can throw away the key, because obviously I'm not getting it. And if I'm still raping and robbing and pillaging and committing assaults and murders, then I've lost it. And they allowed him to go because he had a mental illness. But that's crazy. That's absurd, man. Like, what kind of place are we living in now? Uh, it's very concerning. Back to the people conversating. Just people in general just aren't smiling anymore. I'm the guy that's smiling at people, and I'm riding a bike. Usually, that's my form of transportation, trying to take care of the planet, do my little part, and don't leave such a big footprint of the carbon. And I'm riding, and I'm yelling for people. Hey, I'm coming down on the right side, coming your way, and I just get ignored until I'm right up on them, and I'm like, hey, ding! I have a little bell and everything, ding ding, coming right up on your side. Please be careful. I'm riding on your right, I'm riding on your left, and I just get totally ignored, whether they have headphones in or not. Totally ignored, and that is something that's also weird. It's just the average person in the streets just ignoring us, just ignoring you, just ignoring me, and we got to recognize that we're all here at the same time, and we're all on our way trying to do something. This is important. I was at the gym earlier today. Got an excellent workout. That part of my life is going great. But I noticed a more lack of conversation going on between everybody. No one is talking at the gym. Especially going back to yesterday's video, talking about the tango between men and women. I just don't see him talking at all. Like, there's people in there that are established couples, and you could kind of get a feel for that and understand their relationship. But as far as anybody going, men doing a cold approach at all, it's just not happening. And women are not dropping the handkerchiefs, so to speak. You know, that means allowing an entrance for a guy to talk, a guy to make his way and conversate if there is a possible connection. And some of the women are mad about this. They're saying, nobody's approaching me anymore. Guys don't approach me. And this is partly due to the overall exhaustion of people in general, with the work, endless work, finance trouble, and everyone's on the grind, working 2 to 3 jobs and a side hustle. And it's just a crazy, crazy world. And that's toppled with everyone I see is on their phone. I try to make a great attempt to take off my headphones before I enter buildings of buy goods and services. If I'm waiting in line or something, I'm not on my phone. I try to make an effort to be on the phone for music and checking emails and work stuff. YouTube, obviously, I make content. That's one reason to be on the phone, but I'm not just endlessly scrolling in between workouts, in between sets. I think we gotta learn how to separate ourselves just a little bit better, or this phone thing is absolutely gonna take over, and we're gonna be, upstream without a paddle before you know it. And I think we're already losing the skill just to conversate with each other on a decent human level. Morale is just terribly low. You can feel it when you enter places. People's ability to work and be in a positive mindset, it's just low vibrations is coming about you. You can feel the low vibes. And it's because we live in a crazy world right now where even working hard as heck is not enough. And you're working your butt off, and we're just not getting anywhere. The bang isn't worth the buck, so to speak. We are burning our candle at both ends. And when's the big break we're gonna get? Because the rent's going up, the groceries keep going up, the electricity is going up. All of my electricity has gone up for the past months. It just seems to keep climbing and climbing. And before you know it, we're all going to be shacked up with going into a house style apartment thing, and everyone's going to get their own room, and that's what you're going to pay for. You're not even going to have a kitchen that you all use at the same time. But as far as getting your own place, it's becoming increasingly expensive, and this is also dropping morale, and it's not helping any of us. And this is creating a low trust society, which kind of goes back to the what is taking place when we're not talking to each other. And if we're not conversating, then everyone's a stranger and we don't know their intentions. And we can't know their intentions. And it turns out that the dance between the feminine and the masculine is starting to end. And recent studies show that since the Me Too movement in 2017, 2/3 of women 18 to 50 years old have androphobia. And what androphobia means is a fear of men, an overall fear, anxiety, and feeling of threats from men in general. And I'm going to be the first to say that no doubt there's some bad guys out there. There's some guys doing terrible things, and it's up to us good men to protect the women. That what it hurts me the most is that we are missing out on good relationships, platonic or romantic, because of this this fear, whether it be rational or irrational. It's here already, and we're talking 55% of women are worried about a potential sexual assault, and so they avoid men at all costs. And most women say that they want to be alone in the woods with a bear rather than a man. Now that's pretty crazy, because a bear probably will eat a human, but just to show the disdain that women have for men in general, they'd rather be in the woods alone with a bear besides a man for safety. Call it what you will, but this is what is being said, and it's pretty heartbreaking that we're human beings at the top of the chain. All the other humans before us were the alpha humans. All the caveman and cave women made were the top ones, we're the last ones out, and now the chain is starting to break, and we're not repopulating, and it's super sad. So just a couple things I wanted to bring up tonight, and another thing that's just dropping morality and not helping is loyalty to friendships, loyalty to romantic relationships, and loyalty to work is being eroded with each month. It's just not there. You could work your butt off, and they could still let you go. People working 20 years and 15 years in these tech companies, and boom, you're furloughed, you're let go. And I think 2020 really showed us that it could all be shut off quickly. The rug can be pulled out from under you in this low trust society. And how to bring it back is strong values. We gotta put the phone down. There has to be community outreach. We must invest in our future, take care of our kids, and conversate with them, and be a society of protection and care for each other, and not a society of destroying each other and hurting each other and hurting the women, and men being fearful of other men. And this is wild, man. It's like waking up and a nightmare. You know, I hate to say that, and I'm not trying to be a downer, but things aren't looking good. But still want to leave it on a high note. Is up to us, good men and women of the USA, to do our part and speak up if something is going wrong, and help, help women, strangers with the door. If someone's struggling carrying something, offer help. Like, just little things, little common decency towards each other. This is necessary, especially right now when we fear each other right now. It's not a good thing. We need to get back to value system of loving one another. A brotherly and sisterly love is what we need first, and then we can build from there. All right. So yeah, that's the fitness for America right now, D minus, and I say we do some studying and we get that D at least up to a C, and eventually we'll keep working hard and tough and diligent and smarter, and we can get it back to an A. All right, Odd Fitness, and signing out.